Ah, shit. The bitch is whack! Wait, the witches? Back in 2017, I reviewed the original Bayonetta. I thought it was great, and I wanted to jump right into the sequel, but that required a Wii U, and man, I didn't want a Wii U. This ain't a controller, it's a commitment. I gotta feed it and take care of it. Yes, eventually I got a Wii U, but at that point I was kinda stuck making videos on Sonic games, and eventually Pokemon on top of that. I mean, it's not hard to see why. What, did Katamari get cancelled or something? But Sonic's consistent mediocrity and Pokemon's purposeful bastardization over the years has taken a toll on my mental health when I review games. So, I've been led back into the arms of a beautiful 8-foot tall woman with guns for heels. I mean, check out these reviews. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 1 out of 5! Be nice if Sega were to add Bayonetta to Xbox One and PS4. I get tired of debating this one game with other fans and them say it won't work when knowing it will. I mean, if the first Bayonetta game... Okay, look, shut up. This game wouldn't exist without Nintendo. No other publisher was gonna provide support for a Bayonetta sequel, and then Nintendo stepped in and finally gave us a good reason to buy a Wii U. I mean, what else are we gonna play? Tokyo Mirage Sessions? I was going to do a video on this one actually, but there wasn't really that much to talk about other than that small controversy about the censorship of underage teenage girls' costumes. Gamers rise up, am I right? Also, I refuse to play the Switch, it has such tiny controllers. If only there was some way to play with a larger controller! You could kill a man with this thing!
Bayonetta.
Shut up, I can read. Bayonetta 2 starts off with a bang. Rubble falling, witches kicking, killing angels. There's a guy speaking over the whole thing, but I wasn't really paying attention because the music's sending shivers down my spine. And that's just the introduction. The prologue proceeds much like the original games, with opening credits appearing over the city, highlighting them again in case you missed the giant fucking sign with Mario on it. Yeah, we got credits from Nintendo, Platinum Games, Team Little Angels. Uh-oh! So Bayonetta's out shopping, and best friend and fellow witch Jean is gonna be sweating up a storm under all that leather. Yikes, I can't even imagine how slippery it must be under there. Actually, that's kinda hot. Rodin, the demon bartender, makes an appearance as Santa Claus. Sweet, lovable Enzo's trying to buy a toy jet for his kid.
A jet! I want a toy jet! You know, the kind with wings, flies in the sky. No, I'm not buying any damned angels.
The animation looks great and all here, but did nobody bother telling them they need to animate the shopkeep trying to sell Enzo an angel in the first place? Or doing anything at all?
You hear that? I want one of those! The thing's flying in the air right now. There, that's the one. That's the biggest one you got in the store, right?
He didn't get it. Sega, is this your doing? Did you rush this very specific part of the cutscene? Combat's been overhauled and improved on between games and is incredibly satisfying. Kicking snappier, gunshots pack more power, they've moved the lock-on button to the left bumper instead of the right one, meaning you can dodge at a moment's notice instead of groping the controller like an inexperienced teenager. Quick-time events are fairer, you don't have to sprain your thumbs killing a boss in the first fucking level anymore, although I hate the bloody rotation ones. My big-ass thumbs keep slipping off the analog stick. Fuck! Temporary weapons now replace your guns instead of your regular attacks. Enemies' moves now are always telegraphed really clearly, and when you get hit it always feels like it was your fault, not some sort of microsecond reaction time bullshit. What the fuck? After completing the game on normal with mostly gold trophies and only one death overall, I know, humble brag, I went back to Bayonetta 1 to check out whether I was really as bad as I remembered. I mean, look at this! Was I playing with my feet? Alright guys, I'm just gonna do a quick few levels to see if I've gotten better at the game or if Bayonetta 2 is just easier. What the fuck? What's going on? Bayonetta 1 and 2 are different beasts. You might as well rename normal mode hard mode and hard mode to ruin my fucking day. Well, what are you waiting for? The torture attacks are back again. I mean, it wouldn't be Bayonetta without them. But you can alternatively use your magic for an Umbran climax, where all your attacks transform into devastating fists and feet from Madama Butterfly, the demon whom Bayonetta gets her powers from. And that's the basics of the combat, really, and what you see is what you get. Just a girl that loves climaxing. The unlockable moves are all great too, they're all pretty fun to use, apart from the crow. I hate the crow, I kept accidentally turning into it in the middle of fights. What else? Looking at the back of the box, we can see it boasts incredible weapons and moves, which as far as I'm aware are in the game, yes. I didn't unlock all of them in my first playthrough, but aside from the heal guns, you got the bow, the swords, the whip, the fire and ice guns, a garden implement. You gotta give them some credit with these. Each of them was a lot of fun to use, even if I did find myself abusing the whip more often than the others.
Eat my ass, you cheeky bastard!
Just like in the original Bayonetta, there's a few segments with different gameplay styles to mix things up, like horseback riding, piloting a plane, going for a nice jog, the mech segments. I don't know if this one was really thought through though. It's kind of a pace killer, to be honest. It really does like to surprise you with something new around every corner. I mean, it keeps it from going stale. I mean, for example, for the first couple of hours, you're kicking open doors left and right, and then all of a sudden... That's a mighty sturdy door right there. It's the kind of game you can go through and enjoy even though I'm spoiling the ever-loving crap out of it. There's just too much bombastic action for me to ruin it for you. For you. What am I, American? And speaking of bombastic action, check it out! Fucking co-op! Damn, this game's got everything! Frankfurt! Throughout the main story, you unlock verse cards, which is just a fancy way to say co-op levels, or really, battles. You can't play through the main game with a friend, rather just a bunch of arena fights that are sprinkled throughout it. So let's find a friend and check it out! Anybody want to play Bayonetta 2? I don't know if the Wii U's online is still available, but I didn't think there'd be much chance of me finding a random stranger who happened to be playing Bayonetta 2's online at this very moment, so instead I just played with the CPU, which is nice, because this mode's the only way you can try out the optional characters Rodan and Balder. As for the fighting itself, well, it's Bayonetta 2, but with a buddy. I dare say it would be a lot of fun if I'd actually played with a real person.
That's platinum, that's how it is, baby. I lost.
And that was Bayonetta 2. I can't believe I missed out on this for so long. Don't make me talk about the story, please. I don't know what's going on, man.
A struggle caused the Trinity of Realities to be split into 3 realms.
I know the one who destroyed your world.
Seems I can control the remembrance of time. The god of chaos?
We were thinking reeds. And this overseer is the one who created the eyes of the world for humanity.
Call me Daddy.
And I still gotta play Santa tonight!
I didn't realize Bayonetta was being held by Tetsuya Nomura. Either the story's confusing or I'm fucking stupid. What's going on here? Look, I played through the story once, so without looking up anything online or rewatching the cutscenes again, I'm gonna try and explain what's happening to the best of my ability. Our story begins off simple enough. Bayonetta's out shopping, Jean's sweating in her leather, angels are attacking, you know this, it's all par for the course. Then all of a sudden, Mr. Munchie here decides he's had enough of all that hair that keeps getting in his food and breaks free from Bayonetta's control, bumping into Jean a little too hard, getting her dragged down into Inferno by a bunch of handsy demons because when witches die, they go to hell and stuff. So it's up to Bayonetta to rescue her from Inferno before her soul gets consumed by demons. Or Vord or something. I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty straightforward, RadicalSoda. How did you get confused by that? Shut up! So Bayonetta heads to a giant mountain called Fimbulvinter, which apparently houses both the gates of hell and gates to Paradiso. While in Purgatorio, which is basically just the real world but you can't interact with people not in it, she meets the most annoying fucking kid called Loki with the shittiest British accent I've ever heard.
Stay out of my way or I'll make sure you never get in it again.
Shut the fuck up, retard.
Loki can do card tricks and is trying to get to Fimbulvinter because for reasons he doesn't remember because he has amnesia, and also I can't remember why I wanted to go there either because my brain still uses AA batteries, but it turns out Loki isn't Loki. In fact, he's half of another guy from the past, which is actually a god who killed a bunch of witches, but that's the bad half, while Loki is actually the good half because he wants humanity to keep the eyes of the world, which turn your eyes blue and red, and that's all they do as far as I'm aware, because when Bayonetta gets hers removed, nothing really happens, but to be honest, I think that evil guy maybe said at some point she wasn't really using it anyway. From what I understand, Loki traveled to the future to stop his evil half from absorbing his power, which involves time travel shenanigans and stuff, but then that happens anyway, and also Bayonetta's father is here because she was sent to the past at some point and convinced him to jump into a time travel portal when his wife died. And also Bayonetta can just time travel now for some reason, and her father also had the blue eye of the world, which the evil guy absorbs pretty much immediately, and then Bayonetta's dad absorbs the evil guy right back and it taints him or something, and that's why he's all evil in the first game, because he goes right back into the past and through another big time travel portal, and then Loki evaporates and is reborn as a baby. I forgot about Jean. Did I get that right? Am I correct? That's what, maybe 45% accurate? I mean, for once, I actually think you should go and play this game and see it with your own eyes, because for me, I finally had a blast with a game that I was reviewing instead of having to go through hours and hours of little glitches and bugs and just lack of quality bullshit that making me slowly more insane as time wears on. No, I had a great time. Wow, it's almost like video games are meant to be fun. Also, I wanted to point out that when you're in Inferno, you're climbing along these little tree things. It reminded me of Scalar for the PS2, but I couldn't find an appropriate time to bring it up, so here it is. Just like the first game, there's still tons of unlockable accessories that can heavily impact the flow of combat. I bought like none of them because I'm terrified of change. There's heaps of costumes you can unlock. I bought, again, only one of them in my playthrough because I was more focused on getting the combat stuff. But they're here. No fucking microtransactions to be seen. They're all just in the bloody game, as it should be. You can play as Jean and Rosa, Bayonetta's mum, throughout the main story, and they have their own special attributes. Like Jean can't enter Witch Time as easily as Bayonetta. You gotta use her version of Bat Within to trigger it, but she does more damage with her wicked weaves, and she can dodge non-stop, can stay in Witch Time longer, and I haven't actually unlocked Rosa yet, but the wiki page says she takes and does 3 times the damage, gets in a mech instead of climaxing, and uses Bayonetta's moveset from the first game. Ain't that neat? It's so nice to see a game with this kind of replayability. Usually, with me, it's a one-and-done kind of thing. I play the game, I put it on my shelf, it's never seen again. But even as I was writing this review, I was just thinking to myself, I can't wait to get back in and play it again on hard mode, maybe as another character. In order to do that, I gotta play with this monstrosity. What am I turning into? Hey y'all, Rad here. I'm trying to feed my child, but he won't eat his Mario Piz. What do I do?